So, it's been a while. Excuse me. I always get a frog in my throat when I try to do something live. Never fails. Anyway, it's been a while since I have done a video on this, and it's mainly because I've been working on a bunch of details and elevations, and I'll just show you. Like, here's the front elevation. Trying to get all the stone in the right places where he wants it. The white areas on the siding are stucco, and you can see the stone. And I've been working on this little parapet wall beside the front steps, which I think is going to look pretty cool. Just trying to work out some details around the house, but excuse me. The main thing I'm trying to work on today is go back to my floor plan, and then I'll turn my perspective back on, and it's funny all the little things I have to do to get it back where I can work. Turn the section cuts off. There we go. Turn the second floor doors off. And so you can see now, turn the porch ceilings off. That I have started on the floor framing. I don't know why I've got this lag here, that's weird. Turn the windows off, and turn the patio off, or turn the carport off. Just try to turn off as much stuff as I can to help keep from having to. Let me turn off the fireplace's interior fireplace. That helps. Doesn't have to render the model every time I spin it around. But the main thing I'm trying to do now is work out the floor framing, and what I've come up with based on the spans. The best option are these wood eye joists, and they are, here is a good, the APA has a good publication on these eye joists, and they've got a span table here, and let's see if I can zoom in. So you can see here, I like to put my joist at 16 inches on center. That's a good spacing for your subfloor. And so what I do is then I go down and I see what is the best series. These are the series numbers here, and these basically would have the higher that number, the higher the top flange of the joist and the thickness of the webbing. So you can see here, that's probably not a good picture, but anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time, but you can go through these. Here we go. So then, kind of a view, you can see how they're shaped, and why did I mess up my, there we go. But anyway, and hopefully I won't have any video or sound issues. I need to check. Let me know if I have sound issues. I have been having trouble with my microphone, and if I plug it into one USB port or the other, it makes me sound really slow. So anyway, trying to get back to this, you can see here that our span is like about 16 feet. It's not quite that, but 15.3. So I chose the 11 7/8 at 16 inches on center, and they have this rim board material that you put as the at the edge, at the end of the joist, it's 1 inch thick, and it matches the height. So anyway, I'll get to work here. I got the joist that I picked out for the garage are 16-inch deep, because this, sorry about all the zooming, there's the concrete slab. In SketchUp, if there's nothing, when you're zooming, if there's nothing where you're pointing, it zooms real fast. See, there's a floor anyway. So the span that I'm working with here is like 24.5 feet. So what I'm going to do is put a beam across here, an LVL, and I'm going to step these walls down 4 inches, because I'm going to I'm going to step them down 16 inches. And that, drawing that little line across there, will allow me to separate. Let's see. No, this is going up 12, so that'll be, yeah, they just need to go down 4 inches. I'm sorry. So I'll take these walls down 4. And I've got to do something with this wall, and I'll show you later why. 4. And then the reason for that 4 inches is because these are 12, and I want them to match. If I turn on the second floor system that I just use as a placeholder for the second floor, you can see I want all that to be on the same level, and that's just a mass, it's not detailed. So anyway, so what I'm going to do here is go in here and show a beam. I'm going to go down 16. I think this has to be 16 inches. Is that 16? I didn't think so. And it'll be, let's see, 6 inches wide, plus it'll be, well, let's just draw one LVL, 1.75, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to make a group. Let's see. And then I'm going to pull it out here. All the way to here. And that makes sense because that one. Now, I've based this on my experience. My experience has been at these spans based on floor loading that I've got to have 3 16-inch. But you want to verify this stuff. You can call up the manufacturer of, and I'm just going to go ahead and show this going into the wall for the fun of it, just in case somebody looks at my model. I'm going to say that needs at least 3 inches of bearing. And I'm just going to go ahead and show 3 of them, and I'm going to move them over a 1/2 inch for the drywall, again, in case somebody zooms in my model. And I'm going to make a group out of all 3 of those. There we go. Now, now you ask me why. Well, yeah, I've got a longer span in this direction, and typically it's best if you can keep, that's almost 28 feet. So it's best if you can keep the joist going in the shorter direction. Now the thing about it is, I've got to also have a beam here because and I'll show you in a minute. But I'm going to copy one of these. And put it over here. And we'll bring it this way 3 inches. Take it in a 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to go down here and edit the length of it. When you know that part will be stuck in the wall. Hopefully I grabbed the end of it. Oops. Oh, it's way down here. That makes sense. Why did I do that? I need a new laptop. As you can see, this one sometimes will get its little memory banks full and hesitate. Alright, so now I'm gonna copy that and I only need 2 here because this girder here is sharing the load of that span. This girder is only sharing this load, so I'm gonna, but I'll verify that. I'm pretty sure I can get by with 2 here instead of 3. And then I'm gonna make that a group, and then I'll be able to move on to my joist now. And I'll show you why this is kind of weird in a minute, because the roof comes down and I got to figure out exactly how I'm going to handle that. But what I'm going to do now is copy. Now I can go out of editing the walls, and I need to copy myself a band board and a joist so I don't have to draw them over again. So I'm going to go in and edit. I'm going to grab one of these, copy it, and we'll drag it over here. And let's see, get up there. And what I want to do is flip it around. Let's see. How many degrees is that? 135? Looks like it, doesn't it? Is that right? Yeah, it's 135 because it's weird because this part is a 45-degree angle to that, and my drawing axis just sits like this. That's why I had to spin it around. Now this I've got these joists as components, so that if I change them, if he wants to change them to like wood joist, I can do that easily. But I need to make this a unique one. And I also need to go in here and move this whole thing back a 1/2 inch, because my finished dimension is I want this to line up with the framing, and this outside corner you see here is the sheeting. So you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got it set back a 1/2 inch both. Looks like it's bored, doesn't it? I'm thinking that's just an optical illusion. 1/2 inch. It's an optical illusion. Let me check see if I've got any comments. Not yet. It's still kind of early on Sunday, and this is kind of boring. I know. I do these videos in case the owner wants to watch them. Get one of those black screens. Sometimes that's there we go. And then I can copy this RAM board down here. As you can see, I use SketchUp for real stuff. I don't use it for necessarily for architecture per se. I have to show the contractor what the framing system's going to be. So when I do my framing plan, that'll come in a 1/2 inch. It has to be real, I'm not like an architect that can show frou-frou stuff and just say whatever. It's real. When I draw this floor system, I can go out and actually frame it like that, and that'll be it. Now, am I going to have enough bearing? Yeah. The way I'm doing this now, I can copy these. Let's see, I'm probably going to have about 15 of them here, I'm guessing. Let me see how close I'm going to be. If you wanted to just be technical, you could measure from here to here. That's 11'6". So you can take your calculator and you can multiply 11.5 times 0.75 is 8.6. So I can just go 8. I can copy 8 of these. That's 16 inches on center. Go 16. You can see what I'm typing down here in the bottom right hand corner times 8. Now all these are basically the same joist, so if I change one, they'll all change. And that's when you have I'll just show you that helps later, obviously, because if you can see they all changed. I'm going to obviously undo that because that's not real. But that way, if the owner comes back and says, no, I want 2x12s at 12 inches on center or whatever, I can just turn this one joist into a 2x12 and they'll all change. But I have components for each area. That's a component. These are a component. These are a component. So it would mean I would, in this case, I would only have to change 1, 2, 3, 4 joists instead of every single 100 joists. So now I'm going to pull this. Let's see. Do I have bearing there? Yeah. For now, what I'm going to do, actually, I was just trying to demonstrate how to figure. I'm going to go ahead and copy more joist over and then delete the ones I don't need. But for now, I'm going to take this back to there and then come a 1/2 inch this way. But for now, I'm going to go 16, and I'm just going to times 20, and I'll just delete the ones I don't need. I don't need a bunch of them, because right here it's going to start a different system. So this didn't actually, what I may do is and the contractor can work this out in the field, but if I was doing this, I'd probably want that space to be over here. And why is that? I don't know. I think we'll just leave it alone for now. Now, here's the thing. And I gotta show you, turn on the rafters. Where's my roof framing? Here we go. Here's my rafters, which took me forever to do because I had all these valleys. I had to draw all the valley rafters. This, you see how this roof continues down at this pitch? And I've got these rafters notched. That's the bird's mouth sitting on that wall. I actually have to, I committed a sin, and somehow I got these too high. I accidentally didn't step these walls down, and are they 16 inches tall? I think I didn't change. Okay, so that's one good sign. Let me show you what I did. I was supposed to obviously make these 16 inches. So now guess what I can do though? I can grab this one and edit it. I don't even have to do that. I can just double click on it. And I actually forgot to turn it into a 16 incher. So I can get down here where I can grab everything on top. Get the view. If my computer will quit lagging. And grab all that stuff. And then just back up so I can see that if I did that correctly. Yeah, and then now you can watch them all come up 4 inches. But I still think my roof is will have to be lowered. But now this is just a group, so it's not a component. And I do that because these bands are easy to, there's not that many of them. So I just make them, it's too much trouble to make them components because they're not enough of them that are of the same size and length and all that. So there we go. Now let's see, the roof is still going to be high, but I don't have to drop it down as much. I'll have to drop this roof down, which is no big deal because I have it as a group and I can just, so that's 5. I don't know how it got to be 5 and 16. Well, I know one thing is that I got to come up 3/4 for my subfloor, and then this 2x4 will be sitting down 4 5/16. Yeah, but no biggie. It's easy. If you practice good drawing standards, then you can see I've got the whole roof as a group. I just raised the whole roof up or down. So I'm going to leave it alone for right now until I get in that mode. So let me turn this off, the roof, and then I'll figure out, oh, I know, but the thing about it is I've got to lower it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make myself some subfloor, and how I'm gonna do that is I'll just start off with a little sheet here, a little piece. I should have gone over to there. I'll make a group. I'll raise it up 3/4, and we'll shoot it over here. I'm holding my mouse off the screen and trying to get it to go over. There we go. And then this will come all the way. And see, this is now replacing that placeholder. The placeholder I had for the second floor, you see, is this thing called floor second. You see? And that was just a placeholder for this. So now that I'm actually detailing it, I'll eventually get rid of that and replace it with this. Now you can see the quandary I have. I've got to go ahead and to know how to what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in a different layer, I think. For now. I'm going to actually take it out of that group and just make it its own layer. And I'm going to change that layer later. So I'm going to call it second, let's see, floor, second sub floor. I named them floor, and then I've got a syntax I use to keep all the stuff together in my layers list. And eventually all these layers will get less complicated. A lot of these layers are just to make it easier on me to draw. But you can see now I've got all the floor stuff. Floor second framing, floor second subfloor. I can just look for floor now. And I need to put this in that layer, floor second subfloor. Now I can turn it off for now, because I think what I'm going to do is go in here and create a situation where no comments, no comment. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and move the roof down so I can see where this hits. Now there's something about this that that's cautioning me from doing it right this second, but I can't think of what it is, and I'll probably see later. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it down it said 4 5/16, and I don't know why. But you can see what will happen is that they'll put the sheeting on, and then the roof framing will be flush with that sheeting. Actually, this rafter here will be flush with this framing, and then the roof sheeting will be on the same plane. it won't be on a separate plane. But in any event, the reason I'm doing that now is because I want to see how I can fix this, like, so I can edit this wall, and that means I can lower it 4 5/16, and that should be the bottom. Yeah, that was my bird's mouth right there. And that's a weird dimension, and that's just something that the contractor will have to work out in the field. And you can see this little side wall I haven't fixed it. Oops. I'm going to let this wall be separate. For now, I'm going to let this wall be even with that wall. And then what they'll do is they'll frame these 3 walls the same. And then when they get ready to do their siding, they can infill that. So that puts these, and then I'll delete this line so that in the future, when I move this up and down, it's all one thing. Did I mess that up? Make sure that's right there. Yep. So now the question becomes, I think on these, well, it's not that I don't know. I know that you can. I'm just wondering if it's the best way to do this. It might be better to go in here and put, it might look better if they go in here and frame a little ceiling that's flush with the bottom of this beam. That's what I'm getting at. And just leaving these joists all the same. That's what I would do if I was the contractor. But this is in Texas and I'm in Tennessee, so I don't get to say on this one. But these do need to stack. One thing I do need to make sure of, and this is what I was talking about a while ago, is that these, why do I not have, there we go, control. These joists, and I'm going to go ahead and fix this, need to line up. But that one's pretty good. But these, let's see. Let me think here a second. What would we do? I think this needs to move. They need to be stacked. In other words, I'm going to move this one over to here. I should have locked my, there we go. I'm going to make these line up like that. And then I'm going to move this one back to where it's against this step down, which is close enough. What am I looking at? Oh, that was weird. That one can go there, and then they'll put what's called a squash block. There's a 2x4 that goes beside each one of these on the end, because the ends get compressed easily on these joists. So what you'll have is a 2x4 block in there. I guess I could just draw one since I'm educating people. Let's see. except I'm at a 45-degree angle and I have to do everything weirdly. 3.5. Draw myself a little 2x4, 1.5. Make it a group. And see that 2x4 will come up and go up against the subfloor. That's called a squash block. You see? So what that does is it transfers the load of the rafter down to the wall like that. And really, those technically, this should line up with the rafter, but you can do it. This is, they allow you to stack all the framing. Like now, the studs of this wall would be underneath. All your framing should be stacked. So your studs, your joist, and your rafters should all line up. And that keeps your, the areas between your studs are non-load bearing at that point. So we'll just leave that little squash block in there for fun, but there would be one beside every joist. And it would be the same way over here. You would have squash blocks between or beside each joist. Actually, no, you're not. Let's see. I don't think you're required. Yeah, this floor is just going to continue, so that's not necessarily true. But I haven't got my plate down here yet. You can see that the rafters are still sticking up 1.5 inches because I don't have the plate there. Lots of little details to check on here. I do have the plate over here that those rafters are going to sit on. But for now, we got to get this floor system. I got to check this floor, because I scooted it over, so now I got to move this back. So what I'm going to do is turn the roof framing off and find out what happened to the building. There it went. And for now, I'm going to turn off the subfloor, and then I'll fix this. Yeah, I'm just going to move the end back. Let's see, just do it at the top and it'll be easier to make it go where I want it to go. I want it to go there, then plus a 1/2 inch. 1/2, there we go. And this, go back flush. That, and then I'm going to go down here, fix this. Now we'll have, well, that almost worked out, didn't it? Well, this will come, what will happen is this will, well, what we'll have right here is we'll have a joist. Well, let's see, do we want to do that? No, we'll put, we'll do that, that'll make more sense. Why is it doing that? Let me get rid of this. Could the wood block not be bolted to the metal I-beam? Metal I-beam. I don't know what you're talking about, Violent Kisses. Am I getting a black screen now? I hope not. There's nothing metal. It may look metal because of the way SketchUp, the way it looks, but all this is wood. These are wood I-joist, and this is a wood band that comes with this system. It's a 1-inch thick rim board But what'll happen is these squash blocks are 2x4s, and they just get nailed onto the side, and they keep these joists from compressing. These joists are designed to span over, span these long spans, but they're not designed to take loads. So you got to put that wood block on there, and this is all wood. Let me show you. If you're just sandwich the beam to better transfer the load. I don't know, sandwiching the beam. Well, I'm just showing you how we do it. This is sort of old technology, so we've been doing it this way for 20 years. And the other thing is that the manufacturer kind of determines how we do this. So they don't. The point of this is that the ends of these joists would be compressed if you put the roof load on top of the end of this, and so they don't want that because. And what I was going to show you is I've got a where is it? My downloads folder. I've got where is it? I've got this. This is the eye joist, and you can see that's kind of a top view of one of them. But these are the span tables. But let's see if I can find. Here we go. This is like a. Zoom back out, and I'll show you these different. Let's see if they show one here. Here we go. Now this manufacturer shows a squash block on both sides, but another manufacturer just requires them on one side. But you can see that's to keep from compressing the ends of them. And technically, they're supposed to stick up a 1/16 of an inch above. But you see when we're as a contractor, when we're installing this stuff, we have to do it based on the manufacturer's requirements. So we really don't. We really can't get creative per se, and just do it how we want to. So anyway, and this all looks. I understand that it doesn't look like wood. I mean, I could spend time like, and I have done this before on jobs where I can go assign materials, but SketchUp doesn't really have a very good one. They've got this what is it? I mean, you could make it look like that or whatever, but anyway, I'm just trying to show my drawing will look pretty much like this, and there'll be so there's no reason for me to get into a lot of color. And as a matter of fact, there won't be any color on your construction documents. They're basically just black and white. So, but what I'll have now is another series, because I mean they make these things 48 feet long, but let's see how long it would be. I could show these joists going all the way across, but I don't think that's what he'll do. That's 25. I mean, if he wanted to, he could order some wood eye joists that would go all the way to here, but I don't know if he would do that or not. When I say he, I don't actually know who the contractor is, so I just mean generally speaking. I would think they come, let's see, yeah, 25. See, this would be, they come in 2-foot increments. So, like, these would be 26 footers, or they would be 38 footers. So, I could show that. And I might do that because that's not unheard of, actually. The only thing is that it's easier to work with these if they're not 48 feet long. But 36 feet is not crazy. I mean, it's long, but it's not. These things are lightweight, pretty lightweight. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete 1, 2, 3. Wait, I'm going to save this one to alter it. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then I'm going to alter this one. I'm going to make it unique. And then I'm going to pretend we bought it to go all the way over here and then push it back 1.5 inches to allow for the band. And then I'm going to copy it back. But see, in any event, you can multi-span these things like this, but I'd still have to have that beam there, and you'd still have to have most likely a squash block sitting over the beam. 16 times 15. Then we're back in business. And how did that happen? That was weird. Somehow I grabbed that was weird. How did I do that? 16 times 15. Yeah, somehow I grabbed that rim board and copied it with it. That was odd. But I am going to grab it right here now and copy it. Put it there and go back a half. So I'm going to copy it again. Let's see. Right. Yeah. There we go. Oh, that's got to go all the way to here. Yeah. Now, this floor system, then I need to finish out this. This will come back to here. Let's see. It'll come to at least there. And then I need to copy that. Put myself a little piece down here. And that'll just come to that wall. up there. There we go. That's that. And then now we can finish out our subfloor, which is in a different layer. Go back and turn our subfloor layer back on. Floor, subfloor. And now we can go select it. Put a little joint right here, a little line. And then I can pull this, oops, wrong. Make sure you grab the right thing. Up to there. And we have our floor system for our bonus room above. This is kind of a huge, turn on the roof framing. You can see there's a huge room up there. And if you turn on the second floor walls, you can see that there's a, we'll turn off the roof framing now. If I can get control over my computer, all this stuff it has to render starts taxing the memory. But you can see, like here, there's a bathroom, and yep, it's gonna be cool. Big old huge room up there above the garage. And it's, you know, who knows what somebody might put up there. You might, if they wanted to put a pool table, as a matter of fact, I need to ask him, because this floor system is designed at 40 pounds per square foot. So he'd have to say, I want to put a pool table right here, and what we would do is we would just put a joist in the middle of each one of those, just where the pool table was going to be. Or we'd figure out what we'd have to do. We might take out the whole section and just put them on 1 foot centers, but I'd have to check with the manufacturer to see what we'd have to do there. Or we could just go in and put some LVLs beside, you know, there's lots of different options. Whichever option would meet the requirements and be the cheapest. Oops, let me turn off the second floor walls. So now what I have to do is get this crazy section filled in. Let's see where I am. Let's see. Check comments here. Just see. It's fine. I just assumed incorrectly. Oh, I know. It's hard to tell looking at this. You know, everything looks the same in SketchUp. But you could get what you meant, right? Like shorting the squash blocks and the combined depth of the lips, wedge it between the lips. Yeah, we really can't like invent our own systems with these structural members. We have to do it the way the manufacturer shows, because the building inspector knows how they want it done, and we have to do it the way the manufacturer shows. Otherwise, our structural issues, if we have structural issues and they come back and see that we've changed the way they're installed, then the contractors, I say I because I'm typically the contractor, but in this case it's just some contractor in Texas that I don't know, that I have to do it, I have to show it the way the manufacturer shows it. Just intrinsically it would be more directly transfer load to the wall studs. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying before you came, I think, into the room, into the chat, was I had drawn the roof framing system, a month ago, and now I'm drawing the floor system, and now I'm trying to make them all line up, and that's what I'll do. The squash blocks, really it should be under the rafter, so, and that load gets transferred down, and that's what they'll do in the field, and that's what I'll end up showing. But it's just a matter, I just haven't gotten around to getting it all to line up yet. The rim board is it's like an OSB. It's like a really dense. I'll show you. Let's see, I-joist rim board. It's like a high density. Here's a good picture of it. See, it's like it looks like OSB, but it's more dense than OSB, and it's an inch thick. So, yeah, here's a good picture of it. Rim board. I'm trying to make it bigger, but it won't let me. It keeps. Let's see if I do that. No, why is that? When you make it larger, the photographs stay the same size. I guess they're going to stay the same size. But you can see the rim board. Here's a good picture of the I-joist. Here's a good picture of the end of an I-joist. And I actually did this on one project. I used to spend time, making that web look like OSB, and then I'd make this look like 2x4s. These are not full size. The top flange is like 2.5 inches wide, and it's only like 1.25 inches. It's not a full 1.5 inches. It's not a full 2x4, in other words. But they work really well. They don't squeak like like conventional framing does, and they'll span farther, obviously. And you can cut holes in them. Where's the I-joist hole cutting chart? See, you have to go by these charts and stuff. You can't drill a bigger hole than, I think it's a third of the size, the third of the depth, but you can still do it, see? And there's no way you couldn't cut a big hole like this inside of a 2x12 or a 2x10 floor joist. It would fail. So these are engineered to be able to, like here you can see, you can drill these holes, and they have to be a certain distance apart from each other, but you can still drill them. And and each manufacturer has their own. They're pretty much the same, but like right here. Let's see. I don't think you can't notch the bottom and top cord. I don't think. What is this? That must be, yeah, those are wood. Those are floor joists. Those are wood joists. So this is different. So anyway, didn't mean to get too sidetracked, but I do like talking about it as much as possible. Well, no, actually, the building inspectors will always refer to manufacturer's requirements, because the building inspector has a liability also. And as long as the building inspector follows the manufacturer's engineering requirements, the building inspector won't be liable for anything, because starting about 15 years ago, it was determined that building inspectors actually had liability. So they started having to carry the municipality they work for, and then private inspectors, like home inspectors, have to have liability insurance. They're liable. So no building inspector is going to go in and say, do it this way or do it that way. No, the building code is actually a minimum requirement. So the building inspector is just looking for the minimum requirements and to enforce those. And if he sees that we're using I-joists and LVLs, they love it, because then they can say, well, where's your documentation documentation. Where's your papers? And if you got them, then they're off the hook. So anyway, now the fun part begins, because I've got to figure out what time is it? It's 12 o'clock. It's lunchtime. I may try to tackle this after lunch, but this part right here is all open. This is a great room and I'm still trying to work out the details on the fireplace, but this is all open, so there's no floor system here. But here, above this part, there's a tray ceiling, and so this all steps up. Like if I turn that tray ceiling off and I turn the second floor on, you can see that this old placeholder that I had for the floor system steps up a foot here, because these walls step up a foot, because they wanted this kind of, I think it's weird, but they wanted these stone walls. Oh, sorry, Johnny, if you're listening. But I don't necessarily like that stone on those walls. They wanted it on the underside of this bar and stuff, but I don't know, I think it's too rustic. But in any event, this whole section of the floor has to step up a foot, and you can see that's why these walls, and I'm not sure why. Oh, dang it, I just realized I moved over. I moved the whole dang what in the world? I think what I did was when I moved the roof, I must have accidentally grabbed that. Man, you got to be careful what you're grabbing, because is that right? Yeah, it's all lined up. This should all be set back a half inch now. Yeah, that's right. And this over here, somehow, is that right? Yeah, I grabbed this thing too somehow. Good Lord. There we go. And that should be correct. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it should all be set back a half inch. Yeah. Shoo. So anyway, this kitchen, this actually could be done the same way as the garage. That's only 30 feet. So what I may do is pull back I may actually pull this back. This is not supposed to be here anyway. I just copied the one from the other end. And let these come on over. Oh, that's the wrong wall. It's supposed to come back to here. Come back a half inch. There we go. And that makes more sense to do that, because so what we'll do is we will, well, that one looks like it's going to work out. So if I make this one unique and pull it, yeah, good Lord, that's perfect. That's got lucky. And then I got to decide how this is going to work. He wanted this thing here where this wall was thicker. So, well, yeah, I got a wall to set it on, so I don't have to worry about that. But I have a feeling that this wall this LVL here, how are we going to build this? Excuse me. Well, I know I'm going to take all these out and replace them. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. So I'm going to copy this one over. Times 23. There we go. And that makes more sense. Yeah, because you can get them that long, and it'll make this whole floor system up above a lot smoother and stronger. And then I'll just have to alter. These are gonna have to be set back though. Let's see, this beam really you get out of this for a second. Check comments. Playing lawyer contracting. Boy, I never finished law school. Well, there's a lot of, I mean, unfortunately, we do get into a lot of that, legal crap in construction because, if there's mistakes made, then there, fingers start getting pointed, and but that's why I have liability insurance, and it's expensive. Earthquake in SketchUp. Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and I think what happened was I grabbed, you kind of got to be careful when you're grabbing stuff, like if I wanted to grab this wall and I use the wrong motion, like if I sweep it left, I grab everything behind it. So, you got to be kind of careful what you're grabbing. But I got a situation right here where this wall, I've got this beam not. I want to move this beam over to here, but I don't know if I want to alter the entire kitchen to do that. So what am I going to do? I think the easiest thing to do, because I can't alter the floor plan. He doesn't want me to, I know for a fact he doesn't want me to make this room smaller just to make this floor system work out. So what I'm going to do is make this floor system work. This is one thing about using components. I can just alter one of these now and they'll all change. So then I'll go back there, and I'm going to go back 1.5 inches, because of my rim board, I'm going to go ahead and put a rim board on there. And I'll use a piece of, I'll use that one. But I gotta deal with this angle here, so for now I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna go ahead and show it in here in case, I don't know, I'll have to deal with, what I may do is move this wall back they're just going to have to build this wall thicker all the way up, like, and it's going to be one of those things they have to work out on the job and get outside of this. They're just going to have to build this over to here like that, and then if my computer will come back, quit lagging on me. I don't know if you can see the cursor spinning around in circles. And then this would come this would just come over. How did I miss? Oh, that's right. This is drywall thickness. So, but this will come. So I get it to come straight up. Sometimes getting it on the axis is weird in this 3D stuff. You got to pay attention to where you are. There, and then this will come down like that, and then go. Like that. So the wall would actually be built this way. It's just, these are the kind of little minutia things that really most people wouldn't even worry about, I guess. I guess I'll just angle, I don't know. If I can get that, if I can get it down in there, let's see. Go over to there and then come to here. I did it. Look, there's a little end cap on the wall, and this will just be, you know, whatever. That's most likely just going to be built to. Oh shoot! I got that to where I can't move it now. Anyway, it'll be worked. They'll work it out. I think I can delete this little line without tearing up anything. Yeah. So that's how that'll actually work. Yeah. And then I've got to add one more joist here. Well, I could leave that as a ledge. Let me see. I could. This zoom in SketchUp drives me nuts sometimes because depending on where your cursor is. I wish it would just zoom the same no matter where, but it doesn't. If it's pointing farther away, it assumes you want to scroll faster, which is not the case all the time. Yeah, my internet is our internet's actually pretty fast here in Chattanooga. We have the fiber optic, you know, we got gigabit speeds, but it doesn't do any good if your computer's, you know, it doesn't help my computer any. But the other thing I noticed too, that I'm going to have to alter this stair because I don't think I've got the, I think once I put the new floor height in, it's not going to be exactly right, but I'm going to take a break. I guess unless anybody has any questions, because I've got to figure out, I don't want to do too much thinking online, but I know this one, I'm going to have to like take this one, make this one unique, push it back, and then it'll be, and then this one will go. Well, I should make it unique first, or they'll all move. Push it back, and then I'll have to put a rim board. And they'll cut them at an angle, all that stuff. Fun, but the question is, and I don't actually like, I'll be honest, I hope the owner's not listening. I don't think he watches this far into the video, but I don't actually like how this house is laid out with this 45, because I'm a simpleton. I like simple things, and this is it's just a weird mess. I'll just be honest with you. What I'm going to have to do is probably, well, there's a section here that's a foot higher than the rest of it, so that I could probably work on that part. That's easy. And they're going to be these. I haven't raised this. Did I? I don't think I raised any of these up. Oh, these don't get raised up. These are supposed to be 11 7/8. These aren't supposed to be. Yeah, but this rim board is supposed to be. Actually, I don't remember how this rim board got. Oh, I know what happened. Do I? Do I know what happened? No, I don't. I don't know why. It's almost like I never made these. That's odd. Yeah, okay. Maybe I never made these long enough to begin with. But that's hanging over. I know what it is. The inside wall doesn't line up. I know what it is. The inside of this wall is a 2x4 wall, and this is a 2x6 wall. That's what it is. Because this is an exterior wall, and that's an interior wall. So this has to step back right here, which means I need to make these. I need to take a section out of this. and move it back to here, and this goes to here, but it goes to be two separate pieces. Look, cut out, paste in place, make a new group out of it, because I need to move it. It needs to go back there and then back a ½ inch. And then this one has to be unique. Am I talking to myself? And then this one, then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that have to be different. So I can take out 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And make this one unique. And then copy it 9 times. Times 9. There we go. Now she's straightened out. And this, come on, computer. Anybody want to buy me a new computer? I need 64 gig of RAM. I think I only got 16 maybe. Yeah, I got two 8 gigabyte memory cards. Yeah. Time for PC build. No, I have to have a laptop because I have to drag my computer out to the job all the time, and those contractors, well, I do it for myself when I'm the contractor, but when I do design work for other people, and they're like this, he's like, how do you expect me to build that, man? And I'll have to take my laptop out and say, see, it works. You just have to do it like this. And they go, oh, okay. So it's funny. And I know this is zooming in and out drives people nuts, but it's just how I have to get around in the drawing. So now what I can do is go back into my floor system and take one of these and copy it up here and spin it around. $90 degrees and move it over here. That and then see what I mean about zooming? It goes crazy sometimes. And then this gets moved over to here. Yep. And then I can make this unique. A unique component, because most of these will all be the same length. And is that right? Yeah. And I know it will be that length, because I shall copy this, copy it up there like that, and I gotta raise these walls up. And this is so I'll need at least 8. $16 times 8. What? Oh yeah, that was too many, wasn't it? Let's see. Well, I can edit them. I'm just going to go ahead and run them over to here. And this one will have to be, this is a little weird. This is another place where he wanted, I don't know why that wall's funky though. There's a door there. I don't think this is, yeah, something's weird. This is supposed to be 12 inches, I think. Yeah, I just fixed it. So, I don't know. This is another one of those thick wall places they wanted. Get rid of that. Oh, that didn't work. What's that all about? Oh. What in the world? Oh. Now see, this is the weird side of SketchUp. I didn't see that that was actually a little sliver. I should be able to delete that little line right there. Yeah. But for some reason that's sticking over. It should be right there. Yeah. Just the weird side of SketchUp. But the dark side of SketchUp. But this is another one of those places where they wanted the wall thicker. And 5 inches. I have to check my turn on the foundation for a second. So I think the door got moved out somehow by accident. That's 6 inches. It's actually the extra 6 inches of thickness right there. So somehow this door, not sure how that happened. This door got pulled out. Funky. I'm not trying to move you at an angle. What is going on? I really don't know what is going on with this door. It's weird. Is it glued? Yeah. See, SketchUp does some weird things sometimes. It'll glue the door in a certain location, and if you try to move it, it'll act funny. Like I can't move it along that axis, and so it's showing me that it's glued. I'm trying to move it along that axis. And so if it acts that way, you know they've tried to glue it in spots. So I'm going to unglue it And now I should be able to move it along that axis right there. See? So I'm going to move it 5 inches. And then, but there's supposed to be a hole in the wall. And that's when I unglued it, it uncut the hole. So I probably should have just left it. And I'll fix it. I don't know. I need to stay focused on the floor system, man. Getting sidetracked here. And this is what happens to you. But somehow this, I think what I'm going to have to do is actually, at some point there has to be a, an LVL in the, going from here to here. I think this wall is going to have to be, we had these walls down lower right here because of, but they're going to have to come up to there. They're going to have to come up to the regular wall height. And then that stone veneer will just have to stay wherever. I'll deal with the stone veneer later. But I need that wall to be up there. And this is what you learn as you go through. It's easy to draw a bunch of dang walls and then not really think about it. But now the rubber's meeting the road. And I got to have a place to set an LVL that comes across here that carries these I-joists on over to here, because they're all on the same plane. The foyer and the dining room have 10-foot ceilings. So what's going to happen is these three joists right here have to be made have to go back. So we'll make this one unique and edit it, and then we're going to move it back. Oops, that didn't work. Push it back to there, and then I'm going to go back 3.5 inches. Let's see, 3.5 would be for the LVL, and then 1/2 inch for drywall. The 1/2 inch thing for drywall is a little anal about this, but if he starts measuring my drawings, I want them to be halfway accurate. So I'm going to select this and copy it over 16 inches. Those two will be the same. This is actually going to be the 1, 2, but it has to, what? Delayed reaction. Ooh. That's there, and then I'll have to go back. Let's see. That's how that'll work. And then this can go set back a half. No. This there. That'll be like that, and then is that unique? Make that unique, and then that length can actually come over 6 or 8 joists, how many ever. And yeah, they'll basically be sitting on top of those. That's why it gets kind of funky, because these are raised up a foot, and they're 11 to 7/8 LVL, so it's going to be one of those. It's only going to be an 1/8 inch off of sitting on top of those, and you know, and then this will come. I got one more that'll come. Excuse me. Flush with this, except that again sits back a 1/2 inch. And I'm probably going to pay for all that 1/2 inch mess, because when I get ready to dimension my floor framing plan, it's not going to be the nominal. Let's see, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I know what I gotta do. I gotta make this the same length. These will all go back now that I made them the same. Yeah, like that. See, that's what's cool about components. Now it's right. Now what I gotta do is set me a LVL. The weird thing is that it's gonna be at the end. You know what I could do, and this is where it gets funky. And now I'm remembering why I had the wall down. Because I could have set the LVL down there. What I can do is let's is that right? Because that means there will be a it depends on where the ceiling is supposed to break. That is the question. Does the ceiling break if they don't want the ceiling to break? There, in other words, if they don't want a header there, then what I was going to originally do was set an LVL up on see, when you come out here, this is all open. This is all open. So what do you want it to look like? When you want this ceiling to come out and just go straight up, or do you want a header there? I'm going to bank on the fact that they're just going to want a let me draw myself an LVL. Anybody got any questions? Oh, what's for lunch? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Am I still editing the floor system? Yep. I'm going to draw myself an LVL here. 1.75 because that's how thick they are. 1 3/4. Make this a group. And I'm just going to show it coming back to here for now. And then it would come over somewhere and stop. Well, we just show it coming to the end of these. Yeah, it needs to. That comes over to there. And that's probably what you're going to see happen, because what this will do is I don't know why these are so long. Oh, I know why, because that's, yeah. Well, this all needs to line up, so what it would have to do is this would have to come to here, and then this will make this a group. This would have to come to there, and then these would have to what did I do? Oh, come to there, and then these also have to come to there. Yeah. Now it's a little weird, because what would have to happen really is you can't set that this end joist right here, you can't set that on top of that. So what they'd have to do is this a unique one? I hope it is. Yeah, I think it is. They would have to come back to here. What's it sitting on though? Oh, it's sitting on the wall. Yeah, that'd be fine. And then you'd have to have another section. That'd be easier, probably just to draw one of, or would it be? Yeah, we'll draw 1 3/4. 1.75. Well, wait a minute. Be easier to do it this way. Come out 1.75. And then make that a group. And take it and put it down on this wall. Where it's underneath that. And run it to here. Now, actually, this is where it gets a little weird, because it would actually have to come to this wall down here. And there'd be 2 of them. You can see how this gets funky, and we'll make sure they line up with each other. Make that a a group. That. And then push these back. And I'll have to make me a little piece of rim board. Am I still broadcasting? Sometimes my software goes wanky on me. But let's see, 11 7/8. Come down, come back up, come over, and I'll select that, make a group. Make an inch. Then put it right here on this corner and run it all the way back to that wall. Ah, dang it, got inside the wall. I gotta go here and then spin around. Ah. Getting detailed now, man. So this rim board will come and to this corner right here. And then this rim board will come to there, to that corner. Oh, but I got it in a 1/2 inch, don't I? Dang it. See, this is where that 1/2 inch thing is I'm gonna wish I hadn't. I wish I hadn't. And then if I wanted to get peculiar, this is unique. I'll take these lines and pull them back. Is that right? Should move back. What did I grab? I just grabbed those. Oh well. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to move on because I got to figure this whole thing out, and then I can come back and deal with the details. But you can see now when you're standing in this great room looking up, there won't be a header. The ceiling will just come out from underneath there and pop up. So if I turn on the second floor walls, you'll see what I mean. Second floor walls, you see. And now I'm going to lower the walls to meet the new floor system. But you can see this is a great room. Let me get out of this editing mode. But if you're standing down in here, this is all open. I don't have the floor turned on. That's what it is. Where's my floor? Flow slab. concrete slab upper. There we go. And see, all this stuff has to line up. Like this, yeah, and this wall has to step down right here and be flush. You see? And I'll fix all the walls once I get all the floor framing done. So, I see this piece of rim board needs to be fixed. Yeah, that's right. I just copied it, a piece over there. So we're whittling away. We're whittling away at it. Now we just got to get funky with how we want to fill in this other section in here is on the same plane with these two sections. That section just pops up a foot because he wanted 10-foot ceilings in the foyer in the dining room. So we could I think there would be less cutting if we just continued them going this way. Well, if they came this way, no, they would just be cut. That would all be, yeah, there would be less cutting if they continued in this direction, wouldn't it? Because those could all sit on that ledge that's left over. You only need like 2.5 inches or 2 inches of bearing. There's plenty of bearing there. And yeah, and then when it gets to here, they just keep going beside that. So that's the executive decision. So let's see if we can rough that out right quick. Let's copy this over. Why is it sometimes it's hard to grab the corner for some reason? I don't know. Right there it is. And we're going to move this in 1.5 inches. Well, no, we're not. We're going to move it in 1/2 inch because that's a little short piece and it ain't going to hurt nothing to be right there. Let's see. Is that true? Yes, that's true. And they can always put, oops, didn't make it unique, did I? Might as well just make groups out of all these because these are all going to be separate lengths. And this needs to be pulled back to the end of that, or that edge, that LVL, or that eye joist right there. So now I can just copy, I think since all these are going to be, I'm just going to explode that and make it a group. And that way, I'll just copy over a bunch of them. Let's see how many. How far is it to there? 30 feet. Let's see. what is that? 25, 30 times 0.75. 0.75 is your 16 inches, 22 of them. So I'm gonna copy over 16 inches times 22, and then I'm just gonna have to edit each one of them. And so what I'm going to do is turn off this subfloor so I can get to the ends of each one of them. And this is going to be, might be a little boring, but I think what I'm going to do first is, that worked out pretty good. It would be nice if I think I'm going to make this work out to where this one just comes straight over. And I know this ain't going to work out exactly like this in the field, but maybe if I show it that way, it'll make them think maybe it's a good idea. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put these in a group, and that way if I need to move them again, I can. I'm just going to make this a group, but then I'm going to move this, oh, well, let's see, yeah, I'm going to move this one over where it's right there. And I know that's just rigging it, but I like the way it looks, so I'm going to grab that one. And then I'll come down here, and what I'll have to do is I need to put me a line where this is 1.5 inches, 1.5, and then I'll just have to put these like that. And it's just going to be a matter of getting as close as I can, and then going back and then detail, going into the zooming in mode and getting it perfect. Didn't actually take as long as I thought to mess with this section. It's kind of wanting to show it. I have to go one more time, I think. I'm going to have to come over here and go and copy one more over. Who's texting me now, man? And again, they can I don't think this is, yeah, they'll probably just nail a little block. I don't see them actually doing this one, but I don't know why. I could just cut a little piece and put it in there. Why it would hurt. And then each of these will just have to be, this will be the same. This will come over 1.5 inches. And if you're wondering, yes, I'm going to go back, and once I put the rim board on, I'll have something to go to. Now I'm just trying to get them close where I don't have to keep zooming in and out so much. Get it at the right angle. My stomach's growling. Oh, it was already over there. I'll have to shave the corner off that one. And then these will just, as long as they sit on this wall, let's see. Yeah, they'll be sitting on this and then what I'll do is I'll come back and grab. Alright, people, leave me alone. It's going to be a little hairy because I got to go in here and grab the edge. Let's see. Like that. Grab those pieces. Grab that one side. And just slide it. Why is that not working? It should work if I just a reference line. Even if I just grabbed these two, those two should move. Why is that? Why will they not slide in this direction? That doesn't make any sense. I should be able to move that back and forth. That I hate to have to come in here and do this. And then draw a line across each one of them and then do that. Oops. That would be a pain, but that may be what I have to do. But in any event, I think for now I'm just going to leave them like that, and then I mean, in reality, they don't have to do anything. They've got enough bearing, and they could put the squash blocks on them and they would be fine. I think I may be just being a little anal. got full bearing there. Let's see if I can get to where I can. Gotta be patient. Can't really get it unless you zoom in. It depends on where you put your when you first start pushing. Five more. Oops. Didn't get that one close enough. I don't, not for my taste. Three more. If you've been here this long, you're a strong human being. You got lots of character. It's like a thriller novel. I'm just going to put that one right there, and I'm going to bring these two back. Far, and then I'll get all three of them at the same. Oops. I'll get the end of it. Yeah, it's like a novel. What do you call it? Not a novel. Thriller. Movie. Gotta see how it ends. Gotta see the four joists all done. Oops. What I meant to do is come into this one. I didn't get this one very close. And get this one closer. Now this one, I don't know. You know, this is one of those things. It's kind of funny, actually. I zoomed into infinity. I'm sure they will just put a little piece there. There you go. And all the whole floor is on the same plane except for this part right here. And I'm going to finish up my band boards. And I have about had it with this for now, so I'm going to. But what my let's see, get rid of these. These construction lines. So what will happen is I'll set this at the top view and I'll turn off everything. Won't need kitchen cabinets, no porch ceilings, no stair. Oh, that does remind me, dang, I gotta do the stair opening. Oh, but I was home free. No, none of this. You see, and where's the fireplace? I mean, why is that fireplace still there? What? Oh, that's supposed to be interior fireplace. So you see, and there's another construction line. Get it out of there. And this will basically be, let me see, top view, and it'll be parallel projection. So that'll basically be your floor framing, and I don't know what line this is. Get my computer. What is that? That's supposed to be in front porch. What is that? Put that in patio, not patio. Dang it. I didn't mean to put that in the patio. Should be in the carport. Yeah. So that gets turned off. That gets turned off. And then you go back to your, so your floor framing plan will look like that. And then you'll put notes on it saying, 11 and 7/8 wood eye joist, and you'll point to your band, you'll point to your girders, you'll point to your fireplace opening, and I'll have probably some lines indicating the outline of the house or whatever. And yeah, that'll be that. And then because you won't actually show the subfloor, that's why I have it in a separate layer. On this drawing, you just want to show how the joist work out, or how you're suggesting that they work out. And that will be all. And I can't believe oh, good Lord. I got that issue. The video froze. Son of a gun. Froze a long time ago too. Oh well. If you made it this far and you're just listening, thanks.